Good morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the number one spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. Hope y'all enjoyed Monday Night Football of the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to cap off Super Wild Card Weekend. Hope y'all had a great MLK Day and enjoyed all the basketball that was on slate for yesterday. Great day of sports. Australian Open that was also on. Just a great day of sports. We got a beautiful rundown today. Of course, we got to start it off going back to Monday Night Football, recapping the 31-14 win of the Dallas Cowboys over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was this Brady's last game? Then we going to preview Dallas at my San Francisco 49ers this upcoming Sunday in the NFL playoffs. Touch on Jayson Tatum, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and their performances on MLK Day. And then NBA on TNT tonight. Who do I have winning? The Raptors at the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers at the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's get right into it, gang. Let's start it off going back to Monday Night Football. We had a 31-14 Dallas Cowboys win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 24-0, 10 minutes into the third quarter. This game played out exactly how I expected it to play out. With it being 31-14, I think I predicted it being 27-16, something like that. So it was right around the score I expected it to be. I expected the Cowboys to dominate this game. Like I said, 24-0, 10 minutes into the third quarter. You get 25 for 33 from Dak Prescott, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. Just came out, got the ball into the playmakers' hands. Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, all those dudes. And that's exactly what I expected. And they were able to contain the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers weren't able to run the ball all year, and it reared its ugly head again in the wild card weekend round when you had Tom Brady at 46 years old throwing the ball 66 times in the playoff game. I'm guaranteeing that's the most he's ever thrown a football in a playoff game in his entire career. So for me, this game played out exactly how I expected it to play out. The Cowboys came out there, punched them right in the mouth after the Tampa Bay Bucks was chirping and talking all this. Oh, y'all vanilla, we know what y'all gonna do. Okay, stop it. You feel what I'm saying? And the Tampa Bay Bucks were just a bad team this year, point blank period, that played in a bad division. We already knew that the NFC South, the team that won the NFC South, was probably going to get trounced in that first round. And that's exactly what happened. I wasn't surprised. It wasn't like, oh, Tom Brady got beat like that. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks looked like that all year, besides the first game against the Dallas Cowboys. So I was not surprised at all. Tip my cap to the Dallas Cowboys for living up to the expectation and coming out there and showing that top to bottom, they were a better team, a more talented team than the Tampa Bay Bucks. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in it. You had Stephen A talking about they nervous, they scared. They punched the Bucks in the mouth. You feel what I'm saying? We holla at y'all. Get ready for the offseason. Let's move on. Let's touch on the GOAT, though. Is this the last game for Tom Brady? I already spoke on it. He went 35 for 66, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. You think about those 2 touchdowns that came late when they were already losing 24-0 deep into the third quarter. Then you think about the 1 interception. It could have been a lot more than 1 interception. He threw a couple balls into tight coverage, a couple balls that were just dropped, a couple balls that were just tipped. So I looked at that game, the miscommunication between he and the wide receivers. Was this Tom Brady's last game? I'm going to lean towards saying yes, because where else is he going to play football at? He's not going to come back and play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's just not going to happen. He's not going to come play for my San Francisco 49ers because Kyle doesn't want him. Kyle and John Lynch don't want him. So we're not going to get rid of, we have 2 young quarterbacks that we can build the future. Jimmy is going. So we're not going to bring in 46-year-old Tom Brady when we got Brock Purdy, who's a rookie, and Trey Lance, who was in his second year. Nah, we're going to move forward with our 2 young quarterbacks. That's what we're going to do in San Francisco. Is he going to go back to New England? Possibly. I don't see it happening. I don't see them moving off of Mac Jones this early. Would he go to Las Vegas? Possibly. I don't see him wanting to go up against that stiff competition of Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. Let's not forget, Russell Wilson might bounce back next year, depending on who they get as their head coach. So, hey, listen, man, I'm going to say yes, this is Tom Brady's last game, and he went out on top, man. At the end of the day, you still force your team into the playoffs. Don't come back and then be the reason why a team diminishes and why another player can't develop. Because, of course, Tom Brady in his stature, he's going to take somebody's starting job. Don't be the reason that somebody else isn't out there developing because you refuse to walk away from this game. You lost your family over this game. Well, I ain't going to say you lost your family, but, yo, you went through divorce and all that over this game, bro. And you're at this age, like, step away, bro, before it gets bad as far as physically. We don't want you to walk away because you just physically can't do it no more. I don't want to see him Peyton in his last year. No, I don't want to see him Brett Favre in his last year. Come on, dog. Step away from the game, Brady. Step away. Let's move on, though. Let's preview the Dallas Cowboys at my San Francisco 49ers. What do I expect from this game? What am I seeing? I'm not going to predict this game just yet. I'm going to save that for the Friday episode. But what am I seeing from this game? We played each other last year in a wild card round. It was 23-17 win for my San Francisco 49ers. It was 23-7 heading into the fourth quarter, just utterly dominating the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry's world. So to me, it's going to be tough because the Dallas Cowboys know how my San Francisco 49ers are going to try to attack them. We're going to run the ball. We're going to be misdirection. We're going to have a lot of motion and all that to see what kind of defenses they're in and expose their defensive plans. So to me, I mean, the number one thing that's going to have to happen is that Dak Prescott is going to have a clearly better game than Brock Purdy. He's going to have to clearly outplay Brock Purdy for them to win that game, because you think about last year, he got outperformed by Jimmy Garoppolo, who was dealing with a shoulder injury. Jimmy Garoppolo, who wasn't even fully healthy against my San Francisco 49ers, who were coming into the playoffs limping. We're healthy this year, so he has to come out. He has to be the best player on the field. Dak Prescott does. He has to run the ball. He has to throw accurate passes. He has to anticipate throws. No turnovers. Play a clean game. You feel what I'm saying? So, to me, that's their chance right there, because my Niners are revving right now. We are revving, and they're coming into San Francisco. They're coming into Santa Clara, and it's going to be a totally different matchup than they just faced in that wild card round of Tom Brady dropping back 66 times a game. No, you're going to get about 40 handoffs from my San Francisco 49ers. You're going to get about 20 carries from Christian McCaffrey. You're going to get about 10 carries from Elijah Mitchell. You're going to get about 5 carries from Deebo Samuel. You get what I'm saying? You're probably going to get 5 scrambles from Brock Purdy. And if Brock Purdy plays a clean game, listen, man, it's going to be very, very tough for the Dallas Cowboys to beat my San Francisco 49ers. But listen, if anybody can do it, I think the Dallas Cowboys this time around could do it. But we'll see which way I'm leaning once Friday episodes come around. But what I'm seeing is that the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to come in with a lot tougher mentality coming into San Francisco, and Dak Prescott has to come in with the mentality of being the best player on the field. Better than Nick Bosa, better than Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons has to be a more effective defensive player than Nick Bosa. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of individual matchups to look forward to in this game. I just can't wait for it. Let's move on, though. Let's touch on the NBA and the top performances during MLK Day in the NBA. You know, the NBA just takes over MLK Day. I love MLK Day and the sports that comes with it. You had the Australian Open. I don't really want to touch on that. Besides, shout out to Rafael Nadal for getting his win. But let's speak on Jayson Tatum. 51 points on MLK Day to lead the Boston Celtics to a win. Then you had LeBron James going out there at the age of 38, scoring 48 and 9 in a win over the Houston Rockets, just balling out there. And then you had Steph Curry with 41 against the Washington Wizards in the nation's capital. 41 points, just pouring it on in a win, all winning. Shout out to Jayson Tatum, LeBron James, and Steph Curry for amazing performances in the NBA on MLK Day. Let's move on to the NBA on TNT games tonight of the Raptors at the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers at the Los Angeles Clippers. What am I expecting from these games, and who do I have winning? Let's start it off with the first game, the Toronto Raptors at the Milwaukee Bucks. What am I expecting? You got no Giannis out there, no Middleton. Giannis missed the last 3 games. They saying he may come back. If Giannis can't go tonight and no Middleton, I'm gonna see the Raptors pulling out a close one in Milwaukee. I'm gonna say 102-99. I just see too much firepower from the Toronto Raptors. They just play too well together. Pascal Siakam and all those dudes would be too much, especially without no Giannis or no Middleton out there. If Giannis does play, I would say that the Milwaukee Bucks will probably pull this game out. But right now, with it looking like Giannis might not play, I'm going to lean towards the Toronto Raptors 102-99. Philadelphia 76ers at the Los Angeles Clippers. You got the Philadelphia 76ers winning 4 of the last 5 games. The Clippers losing 2 of the last 5 games. You got no John Wall out there, no Paul George, no Luke Kennard. What am I expecting from this game? I'm expecting the Philadelphia 76ers to go out there and dominate this game against the Los Angeles Clippers. Like I said, with no John Wall, no Paul George, and no Luke Kennard. Kawhi Leonard can't be the only reason that you beat James Harden, that's playing like the Houston James Harden, and Joel Embiid, who's rounding into the MVP form of Joel Embiid. So I'm going to see that it'd be too much for the Philadelphia 76ers with Tyrese Maxey out there, Tobias Harris out there. Them dudes, they just too stacked, and I think they want to start to get a real winning streak going. So I'm going to see the Philadelphia 76ers pulling it out 116-102 over the Los Angeles Clippers. Let me know what y'all think, though. Monday Night Football recap. We had a 31-14 Dallas Cowboys win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was this Tom Brady's last game? What are y'all expecting? What's the preview of the Dallas Cowboys at my San Francisco 49ers? You had 51 from Jayson Tatum. You had 48 from LeBron James. You had 41 from Steph Curry in the NBA on MLK Day. Shout out to those brothers. And then what are y'all expecting in the NBA games on TNT tonight of the Toronto Raptors at the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers at the Los Angeles Clippers? MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.